This is an old game with flashing lights and visual patterns that may trigger seizures. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hola amigos, what is up? This is Raga, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 2 for the Nintendo Switch. In the last episode, we cleaned up the first 4 Robot Masters that I usually like to beat. And in today's episode, we're going to the slightly more challenging, but not that much more challenging ones. Except this asshole. So, let's go to Airman stage. I know Airman's kind of a notorious one in a lot of, kind of old mid-2000 Japanese circles because of the whole Airman Gathouse and I can't beat Airman bit. Which is a baller song, by the way, But Airman actually isn't too bad if you bring along an E-Tank. Although that song is really about, like, the horrible loop that you get in. Because you need to beat Airman, or you want to beat Airman in order to get the item to beat Heatman stage easier. But you want to beat Woodman so you can get Airman's weakness. But you want to beat Heatman so you can get Woodman's weakness. So that song is about, like, the vicious cycle of playing, and I understand that. And also, it's sung, like, kind of through the perspective of somebody playing Mega Man 2 as a kid, so I also understand that. I just think it's a little bit silly to have Heatman, or Airman as the I am invincible! I am unstoppable! You cannot defeat me! Robot, when I think there are much harsher Robot Masters out there. Here we go. Oop, thought I had time to write. Bit of a blind shot there. But hey, if it's blind shots, then just call me Zatoichi with a gun. Gun Zatoichi. Zato gun. Now this is the pain in the butt. Oh, because of these Tiki guys. These Tiki guys, these big ones anyway, unfortunately you can't destroy them in this game. I believe in certain ROM hacks they're destroyable, and like, maybe in certain conditions, like maybe you can glitch the game to destroy them, but... Ooh. That was almost egg on my face. If you can bait these birds into just dropping them into the holes, it works real well. You can also just... That fan fiend there can just stay on screen for a second and then just be like, I'm out! Later, man! Can't pay me enough money to fight this Mega Man. I always wondered why the fan fiends actually, like, look like Mega Man. Like, they look like fat Mega Man. And I always wondered, was that intentional? Was it like Dr. Wily trying to be like, oh ho ho, Mega Man! This is my Dr. Wily voice! Oh ho ho! You can't defeat what looks like yourself but fat! Mega Man, maybe you need to lay off the potato chips. There we go. All you gotta do is just wait for Airman to come to you and then spam the Leaf Shield. One thing about the Leaf Shield is that it actually doesn't consume energy until it fires it, with the caveat being that it fires when you press any directional input. But if you do that, you can just stay in place and kill Airman real easy. So we get the air shooter, which is actually a pretty good weapon. Actually a pretty good weapon. It's basically our shotgun. And we also get item 2, which is very useful for skipping a certain stage. A certain kind of obnoxious set of Yoku Blocks. We'll do that in a sec. I actually want to fight Crashman. Because his weapon also has a purpose in the next stage we do. And also lets me show off more fun with the Leaf Shield. Alright, like I said, you can just stay in Leaf Shield mode forever until you input a direction. And honestly, the ammo consumption on it isn't that bad either. Unfortunately, the Leaf Shield, as much as I want to say, oh, the Leaf Shield's an underrated weapon in Mega Man 2, it does only fire in 8 directions. Or 4 directions, rather, not 8. So if you think it's gonna be, like, as good as the Metal Blade is for a lot of things... But it does get some good use in this stage in particular. So we've got the Neometal here. Similar to the Metals past, except now it has feet. Like Tetris. Here is a good example, actually, of the Leaf Shield coming in handy. Because you can stay on these platforms and just surround yourself, and you're pretty much invincible. Sadly, however, you do have to press a direction to hit that ladder. It's not so notable here because they just kind of get kited in circles. But something more like this. You know. It'll protect you. The Leaf Shield actually is a shield. And leaves. Together at last. It's like that post about tea, where it's like, you know what would go really well in this water? And then the response is just leaves, and then the response to that is just, wait, where are you going? Come back. I'm probably the only one who finds that funny. But I find it hilarious. I'm actually gonna keep the Buster on for a sec because of these blockies here. I think the blockies are actually immune to Metal Blade. One of the few enemies that you can't really damage with it. Here's a few platforms, some donuts that you might, you know, just kind of ignore them. But they may catch your fall in this section, which is a little bit tricky. You know what? That worked out. Because now I can just shoot you there. There we go. I remember as a kid, that Met in particular always used to knock me off. But when you get knocked down, and you get up again, and you get knocked down, and then you get up again. Fucking love that Neil Cicerega mix. He drinks piss. He sings the songs that remind him of the songs that remind him of the piss. Aw. Unfortunate. It's to be expected. The PPs actually can come from either direction. I think it's actually based on where you're facing. Also, if they drop an egg, like, into a wall, it doesn't explode for some reason. Alright. Item 2 comes in handy for making jumps. There we go. Normally I'd actually do Heatman first to get the item 1, but... Let's mix things up a little bit. Kill these prop tops, these fly boys. Oop. I was expecting you there. I can actually wait for, yeah, health. Not that I need it if I play my cards right, but I rarely do. This boss fight is weak to the air shooter, but Crashman here actually has an interesting pattern, because he actually only jumps when you fire. But it makes him pretty easy to manipulate his pattern as a result. Crashman's another one of those weird, like, translation things. Because it's been translated as a lot of things over the years. Crashman is, like, what it's translated as the most, but it's also been like Clash Man, it's been Crush Man, because they all sound very similar in Japanese, so... Alright, Heat Man. Actually one of my favorite Robot Master designs. I think he's adorable. I think it's like really cute that he's just a little Zippo lighter dude. His stage is physical hell, though. I mean, it's full of lava. That one-up was there to taunt me. It's just like, you're gonna get this one-up, but you're gonna die. I blame input lag. If there's anything I've learned, it's just always blame input lag, even if it's your own damn fault. Let's kill you. So Metal Blade is actually really good against these tellies. Oh. I was not expecting you to spawn there. If you can keep 3 of them on screen, you actually prevent the spawners from spawning more. So that's a neat little trick there. It's not necessarily like the most required thing in the world, but it's a cute little trick. Anyway, see these springy dudes? If you want a weapon that kills them, use the bubbles. Or scroll them off screen. Both are really good strategies. The bubbles are actually pretty useful for killing, like, quite a few enemies that you wouldn't expect it to be able to kill. Anyway, here's the big pain in the ass part of the stage. Yoku Blocks. I'm not sure when, like, the Mega Man community as a whole started calling them Yoku Blocks, but these disappearing blocks are in more or less every Mega Man game, to varying levels of difficulty. I remember, as a kid, I thought the ones in Magnet Man's stage in Mega Man 3 were especially insidious. One thing to note about them, however, is that they're on local timers and not global timers, so that you can actually... Actually, that's more of something that we can see later on. There's another thing, using these crash bombs to actually get past these walls, making ourselves some lovely little shortcuts here. It's not something that you need, and it does leave you vulnerable. But it's kinda neat. Gives you a reason to get crash bombs early anyway. Alright, this. This is a set of Yoku Blocks that's particularly devious just because of how fucking long this section is. But there's a catch. As there often is. We can just ignore them. Gonna miss that one up. Yeah! Doing a little bit of groovy stuff there. And here's actually where the air shooter comes in handy. The air shooter absolutely destroys those mechs, which allows you to get to a safe vantage point and pump the Sniper Joe full of metal blades. Although I think the Sniper Joe, I think they're actually weak to Quick Boomerang. A lot of the enemies in this game actually have some weaknesses to them, which might not be apparent on the first run through, but they've got their weaknesses and immunities just like the bosses do. Alright, Heat Man. Heat Man's pattern is simple. You hit him, he does a fire tackle. And then he just spreads fire everywhere. He's pretty easy to bait, honestly. And there we go. I think he's harder to bust or run, just because it's kind of a battle of attrition, really. But the same could be said about a lot of bosses in this game. Like, weaknesses speed things up and make things easier, but you also have to realize that, like, having that kind of DPS also means, like, there's less fight for you to make mistakes in. And that's cool. Item 1 completed. Get your weapons ready. Get equipped with... Item 1. Finally, we have the sort of almost stationary platform item. Item 1's pretty good, actually. And it's required, but thankfully the game gives it to us. Alright, now for this bullshit. Quick Man. The game immediately throws a 1-up to you here. Which is good, because this is the hardest Robot Master stage. There is a way around it, however. But this is, if you don't use the trick, it's the hardest Robot Master stage. The game wants to make sure you're prepared. As ready as you'll ever be. Because this introduces a lovely little mechanic called... Force Beams! These Force Beams are one-hit kill, and they will always come out at specific timing, which means they will try to kind of block off your paths. They're not so bad on that screen. On, like, that set of screen, they're actually really easy to deal with. It is the second Force Beam chase that is a bit worrying. Also, you might not know you need to make this jump. You need to make this jump. Alright, I'm gonna give it an honest try. Stuck in a bad spot. Like Bill Wirtz just did a bad thing. Having a bad day turns into a bad year. I love how people in the comments section of that song are always like, oh, he predicted 2020. Because there's the lines, just had a bad day, turned into a bad year, because all the things I want to do and all the places I want to go are cancelled. And that song came out in like 2019, and then, 2020 happens, and... Alright. Starting on this screen. So the Time Stopper's one main usage in Mega Man 2 is against Quick Man stage. And technically against the Quick Man boss as well. Oh, I shouldn't have gone for that health. There we go. So yeah, that's a lot of tricky dodging that you need to do, and I'm perfectly fine with not doing it, if you want me to be real. Yeah, you are not weak to the, What is your weakness? Oh... I'm gonna shoot bubbles at you. Well, I killed him. But I don't know if that was a weakness. Another chicken walker. Really? Only one of them hit you? Oh god, there's two of them. Just run. But there's nowhere you can run fast enough for the boss fight here. Technically, he's weak to crash bombs. Will they work, though, is the question. Welcome to the hardest Robot Master, Quick Man. From what I remember, Quick Man was actually intentionally made to be a more difficult than average boss, because they kind of intended for Quick Man to be a rival to Mega Man. That's from what I can remember reading up on, anyway. Quickman's weakness is to the Crash Bomber, and he's also the only boss that takes damage from the Time Stopper as well. Using the Time Stopper actually basically shaves half of his health off. I believe he also takes double damage from the Buster to kind of make up for how much of a pain in the ass he is. Hate the Quickman fight. And the Quickman's a really cool design. It didn't let me pause. Oh, because I had a Buster pellet on screen, probably. Yeah. Ah! Another obnoxious thing about Mega Man 2, you can't pause when there's a projectile on screen. Oh, he was stuck. Oh, that would have been my perfect chance. Because he's so goddamn fast, Quickman gets stuck on the environment constantly. I'll use another E-Tank. I don't wanna, but I'll use it. I'm always so bad at fighting Quickman. There we go. But that's all 8 Robot Masters down. Get equipped with Quick Boomerangs! If you thought the Metal Blade's ammo was crazy enough, well, guess what? Quick Boomerang has even more ammo. Alright. If you want to skip ahead, here is our password, of course. And in the next episode, we're going to be going into the final confrontation with Dr. Wily. I'll see you guys then. This is Tales Fire Rocket signing out. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.